Here at Midvale Speedway. Walter Walt, we all called him Hal. He passed away at the age of 66 on Friday, July the 5th. So we're actually doing a special opening ceremony for Walt here tonight. So bear with us as we're actually going to do something with our normal drivers. Good boys and girls, welcome to Midvale Speedway. On behalf of Chief Starter Terry Coletti, scorers Gary Smith and Debbie Leese, driver mediator Billy Hall and Chuck Barrett, the lineup guy Donnie Staley, tech officials Dave Hoopengartner, Roger Liner, Joe Leinert and Daisy Liner, spotters Bill Ditto, pit announcer and spotter tonight is Chuck Barrett, tire and fuel guy Bob DeMateo, Craig Mishler and Howard Hall of Mid-Vid Racing Videos, track photographer Shutterbug Photography by Dana, track owners and promoters Kelly and John Chapman. I'm your announcer Matthew Helms, and welcome to week number 10. Federated Auto Parts presents Christmas in July bike and backpack giveaways at Thunder in the Valley. We are blessed to live in the greatest country on earth. Would you please honor our nation? If you're able to do so, please stand. Gentlemen, please remove your hats for tonight's invocation and the playing of our national anthem. Let's take a couple moments of silence, as over the past week we have lost three of some of Midville's workers. Walter Howe, who ran our yellow tow truck on the front straightaway. We lost a guy who owned cars for his sons, who raced them, and then his sons also raced here, of Ted Mackey. And then also, a couple of days ago, we lost one of the flagmen, flagged here between Eddie Warmack and Terry Coletti of Bernie Booth. So let's take a moment of silence for the three Midvale Speedway employees that we have lost over the past week. Shall we pray? Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for the beautiful weather you've blessed upon us here at Midvale Speedway. Please watch over all the drivers, the crews, the fans, the officials. Please watch over everybody as we are here to watch a great night of racing action here at Midvale Speedway, one of the finest racing facilities in Ohio. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen. But if you would like to still remain standing, you can do so. We're going to do a green-white checkered. It's actually Walt, who actually has worked here at Midvale Speedway, driving that yellow tow truck for 11 years here at Midvale Speedway. Walt himself, 11 years, was here every Friday for our Midvale Speedway practice. We're doing a green-white checkered. As Walt was actually cremated, he is here. And we're actually doing a green-white checkered with some of the drivers behind him for Walt taking his final lap. As he's coming off of turn number 4, the 66-year-old, who was born in Akron, a Streetsboro resident, worked here at Midvale Speedway for 11 years, going to be deeply missed. He's going to take the checkered flag. Give a hand to your winner, Walter Howell Jr. Tonight, like I said, late models, or the mini trucks, street stocks, and the compacts will have their makeup features from June 29th. We're going to move on into the first feature of the tonight before we move on into our normal racing action. The Snap-on Tools by Doug Pool mini truck. Starting on the front row, the number 19, that's Tim Croft. The number 2, Barney Gerber. The 443 of Eddie McLean. The 26, Chad Squires. And the 11 of Roger Bauscher. 10-lap feature for the Snap-on Tools by Doug Pool mini trucks has Croft and Gerber. Croft and Gerber are going to look for the green flag from Chief Starter Terry Coletti, and the green is out. 10-lap feature for the Snap-on Tools by Doug Pool makeup feature from June 29th. As Gerber going to the outside, battle side by side between Croft and Gerber. So far, your race leader, Barney Gerber. Good battle there for the second spot between Croft and McLean for second, with Chad Squires there in fourth. Roger Boucher sitting in fifth. Halfway this time by. 5 laps in, 5 laps to go for Barney Gerber. Croft at the line. Eddie McLean and Chad Squires your top 4. Definitely a good race there for second spot between Tim Croft in the 19, Eddie McLean in the 443 as McLean trying the outside lane. White flag, 1 lap to go for the 2 of Barney Gerber. Still a good battle there for the second spot between Croft and McLean, as McLean trying to go to the outside. To the double checkered flag, your winner, the 2 of Barney Gerber. Second to Tim Croft. Third to Eddie McLean. Fourth to Chad Squires. And fifth to Roger Boucher. Climbing out, give a hand to your winner, the 2 of Barney Gerber. Over here, Barney. Well, Barney, your guys' feature was next after 2 weeks ago, but now you can say you're a midseason champ. Bad news is you're going to have to start behind the invert tonight, but this truck was actually hooked up there on the start as Croft and McLean battled behind you, but this car was really hooked.
Yes, it was. We've been working on it a lot. I'd like to thank everybody that's been helping me with it. Dale Lendon, Dan Booth, Kevin McClintock has helped me a whole bunch on setup and stuff, so I'd like to thank them guys and all my sponsors.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Give a hand to your winner, the 2 of Barney Gerber. TR Industries, sponsored from Yorksville, Ohio, that's Lucas Ripley. To the outside, from Somerdale, Ohio, in the My Water Doctor. In the My Water Doctor, Somerdale Inn. Townhouse Drive-Thru, sponsored number 118, picked up his first career feature win just a couple weeks ago. That is Colt Locker. The 88 from Barberton, Ohio, the Nephews Painting. Can Auto Salvage, Scott's Automotive, Quality Lawn Care, sponsor number 88 at Dennis Wood. The number 77 from Denison, Ohio, the McInturf Realty, K&B Trucking, Sports Trucking, sponsor 77B of Rich Schweitzer. The 7 from Midvale, Ohio, the WTUZ, Gino's Garage, Ridgeway's Auto Repair, sponsor number 7 of Gabe Pringle. The 95 from Yorksville, Ohio, and the LTR Industries, Mustang Restaurant and Bar. 95, Scott Richardson. The 22 of Barberton, Ohio, the Nephews Painting, Quality Lawn Care, Scott's Automotive. 22 of Kylie Wood. And the 55 tonight from Dover, Ohio, and the Affordable Towing, keeping you in stitches, sponsor number 55 of Bill Obiol. Ripley, Locker looking for the green flag. Green flag is out, and we're underway. 20-lap feature for the Bucky Mowing Street Stock. Locker on the high side, still battling with the 67 of Ripley. Here comes Wood into the third spot. Battle for second between Wood and Locker. Here comes Rich Schweitzer to the inside of Locker for the number 3 position. Good battle for third. As Wood all over the back bumper of Ripley for the top spot. Here comes Pringle. Pringle looking to the inside of Locker for fourth. As Ripley's little wheel hop there in 1 and 2 opens the outside lane for the 88 of Wood. Wood, Ripley, side by side for the top spot at the line. It's Wood. Ripley wheel hopping again in turn 1 and 2. That time again as Rich Schweitzer closes in the 77 on top of the 67 for the second spot. Schweitzer a little loose there off of turn number 4 as he's trying to close down the 67 of Ripley for second. Schweitzer got a little loose there. Pringle had to back out of it off of 2. Schweitzer again getting a little loose there off at 2 as Pringle had a brake check again. Pringle trying to look all over the back bumper of the 77 of Schweitzer for third. As Dennis Wood, your race leader. Halfway that time by, 10 laps in, 10 laps to go for Wood, Ripley, Schweitzer, Pringle, Locker, your top 5 with Avil, Richardson, and Wood rounding out your top 8. Pringle to the inside of Schweitzer for third. Good battle for third between Pringle to the inside, Schweitzer to the outside. 2 champions in the street stock division is Pringle now up to third. Schweitzer back to fourth. Here comes Locker looking to the inside of Schweitzer for the number 4 position. Locker going to clear Schweitzer there off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Schweitzer's going to dive down. He's going to look ducking right behind the 118 of Locker. As here comes Bill Obule looking at the back bumper, the 77er Schweitzer. He's going to go up the track a little bit there on the front straightaway as here comes Obule looking to the outside of Schweitzer. He's through 3 and 4 off at turn number 4 to the double checker flagger winner, the 88 of Dennis Wood. Second, gonna go to Lucas Ripley. Third to Gabe Pringle. Fourth to Colt Locker. Fifth to Rich Schweitzer. Sixth to Bill Obule. Seventh to Kylie Wood, and eighth to Scott Richardson. In the Canton Auto Salvage, Patty B's Cleaning, RPM Motorsports, Scott's Auto Perfection. Climbing out, give a hand to your winner, the 88 of Dennis Wood. Well, congratulations, Dennis. You actually think you're like maybe 3 in a row, maybe 2 in a row after the open show last week, but this car was definitely hooked tonight. Came up on lap traffic of your daughter and then also Richardson. Of course, your daughter almost spun out in front of you, which would have made it a good challenge as Pringle made it through the field as he was sitting second. But this car was definitely hooked tonight. Who all would you like to thank?
I'd like to thank Canton Auto Salvage, Lee's Chicken, Scott's Auto, Automotive Electric, RPM. I mean, it's a joint effort, and finally got it dialed in now, so.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Give a hand to your winner, the 88 of Dennis Wood. A little later. So again, special thanks to Federated Auto Parts located here in Yorksville. Be sure to check them out. They also have a full machine shop there at the Yorksville location, right on Water Street. Be sure to check them out at federatedautoparts.com or fisherautoparts.com. So now we're going to move on into the last feature before we move on into tonight's July 13th program. So we're moving on into the Finlayson Towing Compact. Starting on the front row, the number 6R of Ryan Alm. The 0, Alan Clark, the 69, Bart Busby here in the makeup. The 53 of Curtis Finlayson, the 443 of Eddie McLean, the 78P of Josh Peebles, the 8 of Jeffrey Orr, the 44, Mike Stuber, 15 of Kyle Finlayson, the 38, Brandon France, the number 75 of Kevin Renneker, 23, Carl Phillips, 41, Toby Cook, the 7S of Savannah Alm, 17, Elaney Stresky, the 52 of Jeremy Salinger, the 188 of Jimbo Roop, and the 9 of Gavin Roop. So again, showing them the one to go this time by. We're going to go green next time by 20-lap feature for the Finlayson Towing Compacts. Here, their makeup feature for mid-season championship just 2 weeks ago on June 29th. Lap feature, Ryan Alm, Alan Clark. Gonna look for Chief Starter Terry Clay's green flag. Green flag is out, 20-lap feature is underway. Clark gonna go right out to the advantage. Here comes Ryan Alm. Here comes Curtis Finlayson, 3 wide almost down the back straightaway as Clark having problems. Pulls into the infield. Eddie McLean into the back bumper of Busby for the number 3 position. As they're 2 by 2 by 2 by 2, then 3 wide. They're deep in the pack, middle of the pack, 3 wide. With Finlayson, Renneker and Phillips there, 3 wide there. Good battle up front with Ryan Alm and Curtis Finlayson, with Busby and Peebles there in the number 3 and 4 position. There goes France. He's almost spinning. He's able to save it. Reneker, Phillips had to back out of it. So did Finlayson. McLean up into Peebles a little bit in turn number 3 and 4. Good race so far for the Finlayson Towing Compacts. Here comes Busby to the inside of Curtis Finlayson for the number 2 position. Peebles also going to move to the inside of Curtis Finlayson for the number 3 position. Good battle for a third. Good battle there for the 5th spot between Mike Stuber and Orr as Orr's using the outside lane. Jimbo Rook almost getting into the front straightaway wall there a little bit off of turn number 4. He's a little sideways deep in the pack as they're battling deep in the pack. Here comes Peebles looking to the inside of Bart Busby for second. Does so. Here comes Orr, 3 wide almost down the back straightaway. Peebles to the inside of Busby for the number 2 spot. Move Peebles up to second. Good battle there for the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th position. Here comes Peebles to the inside of Alm for the race lead. Alm dives it in deep in turn number 3. Peebles there to the inside. Alm going to close the door on the front straightaway. As Busby having a little bit of problems, McLean opening up the door for Mike Stuber for the number 4 position. Stuber. McLean battle there for number 4 position halfway. 10 laps in, 10 laps to go for Ryan Alm, Peebles, Busby, McLean and Stuber your top 5 with France, Reneker, Orr, Finlayson, and Phillips your top 10. As France and McLean make a little contact, here comes Stuber and Busby battle there for the number 4 position. And caution hard on the back straightaway. Al Finlayson, Jeffrey Orr, that's your top 5. With Toby Cook, Curtis Finlayson, Savannah Alm, Alan Clark, and Eddie McLean, your top 10. 11 in, 9 laps to go for Ryan Alm and Peebles. Green flag is out in turn number 4. Good battle for the race lead between Alm to the inside, Peebles to the outside. Here comes Kevin Reneker to the inside, 3 wide almost in turn 3. Reneker giving a little bumper to the number 6. Here comes Finlayson to the outside, or right behind him, top 5. Peebles, your race leader. Good battle for the second spot. Ryan Alm to the inside, Kevin Reneker to the outside. Finlayson there in the number 4 position. Alm a little loose into turn number 1. Here comes the 75 of Reneker around the outside to take over second. Finlayson and Orr sitting in 4th and 5th. They're going to look to the outside of Alm for 3rd. Good battle there for the 6th spot between Curtis Finlayson and Alan Clark. Here comes Toby Cook sitting in the 8th position. battle of brewing for the race lead between Peebles and Kevin Renneker. White flag, 1 lap to go. Peebles, your race leader, with Kevin Renneker, who's ninth top qualifier, sits in the second spot. Renneker going to dive bomb into turn number 3, not enough for the double checker flag here. Winning the 78P is Josh Peebles. Second to Kevin Renneker. Third to Ryan Alm. Fourth to Kyle Wilson. Fifth to Jeffrey Orr. Sixth to Curtis Phillipson. Seventh to Toby Cook. Eighth to Alan Clark. Ninth to Savannah Alm. 10th to Gavin Rupp. 11th to Laney Stresky. And 12th to Jeremy. Climbing, I'll give a hand to your winner, Josh Peebles. Let's do the interview first.
Okay.
Well, congratulations, Josh. This car was actually hooked up on the outside lane, and after you got past Kevin Renneker started putting some pressure on you. As I think in the feature, it's gonna be a really close feature coming up later. Who all would you like to thank on the 78?
My wife, USIC, Peebles Racing, Slackers, Ohio, Eco Deconstruction, Caden Cares, all the guys on the hill for helping me out all the time.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Give a hand to your winner, the 78P of Josh Peebles. July 13th program. Heat races. So attention here on the grandstand side. When this race ends, you guys can go on the front straightaway, but right now we need you guys to back away from the fence real quick, back away from the fence on the front straightaway real quick. Let this race end, back away on the front straightaway real quick. We're going to move on into the McIntosh Oil Company late model. Starting on the front row, the Zero from Canton, Ohio, the Riddle Construction sponsored Zero of George Riddle to the outside. Point leader, number 17 from Denison, Ohio. And Landstar Recruiting Agent, Factory Street Pub and Grill. Sponsor number 17 of Bob Snyder Jr., the 22 from New Philadelphia, Ohio, and the Route 39 Auto Salvage. Sponsor 22, Cody Jayberg. And tonight's top qualifier, the 88 of Akron, Ohio driver. Cavanaugh, 44 Sharp Forever Tan, sponsor number 88 of Tony Uridalis. Trying to get the start good between Riddle and Snyder. As gonna get the green flag, and the green flag is out for Riddle and Snyder. 6-lap heat race for the McIntosh Oil Company late model. Riddle off the track just a little bit. Snyder battling back to the outside. Riddle to the inside. Snyder to the outside. Snyder to the turn 4. Uridal is going to look to the inside. Snyder a little loose into turn 1. Opens up the inside for the 8 Tony Uridalis. Cody Jayberg also going to look to the inside for the number 3 position. They're off for turn number 4 also. Four laps all over the back bumper, the Zero Riddle for the top spot. Riddle a little loose there off for turn number 4. Jayberg loose off it to the inside of 17 to Snyder. White flag, 1 lap to go. They're in the second spot. To the checker flag, of George Riddle. Second to Tony Uridalis. Third to Bob Snyder Jr. And fourth to Cody Jayberg. Pulling to the line in the Riddle Construction from Canton, Ohio. Give a hand to your winner, the 0 of George Riddle. 25 from Canton, Ohio, Chris Grubbs to the outside. From Stone Creek, Ohio, the 69 of Bob the Animal Eichel. From Austintown, Ohio, the number 66 of John Sanquest Sr. and the 69 tonight. He's from Strasburg, Ohio. It's Larry Ennis. Oil Company late models. Grubbs to the inside. Eichel there to the outside. Good battle up front so far between Chris Grubbs and the 25. Falls back to second. Sanquest Sr. now to the inside for second. Good battle between the top three, between Grubbs, Eichel, and Sanquest. Good battle still up front between Grubbs and Eichel. White flag, 1 lap to go for Grubbs. Eichel. Off at turn number 4 to the checkered flag. Your winner, the number 25 of Chris Grubbs. Bob Eichel, third to John Sanquest, and fourth to Larry Ennis. And pulling to the line in the G&H Construction from Canton, Ohio. Give a hand to your winner, the 25 of Chris Grubbs. Now we're going to move on into the Van Meter Auto Repair Modified. Starting on the front row of the 00 from Yorksville, Ohio. And the LTR Industries D&B machine. Sponsored 00, that's Todd Ripley. To the outside, the 02 from Massillon, Ohio. And the Tim's Custom Car Center. Sponsored 02 of Rick Stibla. The 34 from Midvale, Ohio, and the Creative Flow, it's Pork Chop Vinyl Graphics, sponsored number 34 of Keith Thomas. The 0, the LTR Industries D&B machine, sponsored 0 of Lucas Ripley. The 67 from Yorksville, Ohio, and the Hair and Heating and Cooling, Mies Tree Solutions, sponsored 67 of Bob Page. And tonight's top qualifier, and the Federated Auto Parts Van Meter Auto Repair, sponsored number 38 of Kevin McClintock. And again, special thanks to Federated Auto Parts for being tonight's sponsor here on Christmas in July. Hopefully they're enjoying. More to come. 6-lap heat race number 1 of 3 for the Van Meter Auto Repair Modifieds is green flag and we're underway. Todd Ripley and Sibla battling there for the race lead. Here comes Keith Thomas in the 3rd spot. And problems for the 38 Kevin McClintock over in turn 3 and 4 as he loops it on his own in turn number 3 and 4. Rick Sibla, your front row with Keith Thomas and Lucas Ripley in 3rd and 4th. Page and McClintock. Green flag is out. 1 lap in, 5 laps to go. Sibla a little sideways there on the outside of the lead in turn number 2. As Thomas looking to the inside for the number 2 position. Here comes Todd Ripley. Ripley, your race leader. Here comes Page looking to the inside of Lucas Ripley for the number 4 position. Keith Thomas and Rick Sibla battling there for second. Sibla a little loose in the high lane as Ripley getting into that bumper. Sibla there a little bit in turn number 4. Four laps in, 2 laps to go for Todd Ripley. Keith Thomas sits there in the second spot. With Bob Page, Kevin McClintock, Lucas Ripley, your top Ryland, Rick Sibble sitting in 6th. As Page looks to the inside of Thomas, off at turn 2. White flag, 1 lap to go for Todd Ripley. Off the 4 to the checker flag, your winner, Todd Ripley. 2nd to Keith Thomas. 3rd to Bob Page. 4th to Kevin McClintock. 5th to Lucas Ripley. And 6th to Rick Sibla. And the LTR Industries D&B machine, give a hand to your winner, Todd Ripley.
Testing.
Okay, if you were given a green ticket and only got 1/2 of that ticket, please come up and see me. I'm up here at the deck. Boys and girls, if you were given a green ticket and only got 1/2 of that ticket, please come see me, please.
So 6-lap heat race number 2 for the Van Meter Auto Repair Modified, starting on the front row, the number 4 of Jerry DeVore. To the outside, the 87 of Zach Leisure, the 09 of Philip Cox, 54 of Doug McMillan, the 331 of Mike Stone, and the 55 of Brandon Bailey. Green flag is out 6 laps. Leisure in the outside lane. Cox. Pulling it up. Cox looking to the outside of the door for the race. White flag, 1 lap to go for the code. Alpha 4 to the checker flag. Third to Mike Stone. 4th to Doug McMillan. 5th to Zach Leisure. And 6th to Brandon Bailey. Pulling to the line In the Swan Racing Fabrication Double J Restoration sponsored number 09, give a hand to Philip Cox.
Testing.
Okay, boys and girls, last call. If you did not get your yellow ticket for the bike giveaway, please come and do so now.
Third and final heat race for the Van Meter Auto Repair Modifieds. Dan Gosser in the 33, Nick Grubbs in the 24, Derek Roll in the 99, Sean Martyr in the 25, Don Ruffin in the 3rd in the 69, Bobby DeVore the 2nd in the 75. 6 left. Third and final heat race for the Van Meter Auto Repair Modifieds. Green flag is out for Gosser and Grubbs. Battling back to the outside. Gosselin pushing up. As Grohl getting a little loose going into turn number 1. Here comes Martin. Off the 2. Good battle there for the 3rd spot between Grohl and Martyr. As Grubbs. Second spot. Halfway this time by Roll, Marner, Roker in the 3rd and DeVore in the 2nd. To Bobby DeVore the 2nd. Pulling to the line, give a hand to your winner. From Stone Creek, Ohio, the 33 of Dan Gosser. Also, make sure you guys try out the parts. If you'd like to get more details on Federated, coupons, deals, be sure to check them out at federatedautoparts.com and federatedautoparts.com. Again, make sure you head on down there as you walk in. Federated Auto Parts is doing a Chinese auction. All the money is going for Toys for Tots, so be sure to support Toys for Tots and Federated Auto Parts. They support us. We should support Toys for Tots also. So again, we're going to move on into the Bucky Mowing Street Stocks. Bill Avio on the 55 tonight, Lockyer back in there on the outside. Ridley sits in the 3rd spot. Wood and Passwater Senior battle there for 4th. Pringler 6 and 6. and Locker. Fabio Locker battling there in the top spot. Wood in fourth. Pringle now in fifth. Fabio, your race leader with here comes Ripley. Wood, he's now looking to the outside of Ripley for second. Wood to the outside of Ripley. Fabio, your race leader. White flag, home line goes to Fabio. Wood contact there in turn number 2. Dennis Wood gets a back up from tires. And check. Pringle fourth to Bob Caspar Sr. Fifth to Cole Locker, and sixth to Dennis Wood. And the affordable towing keeping you in stitches. Sponsor number 55. Give a hand to your winner, Bill Abiol.
Okay, we're going to go for a blue ticket. Number is 295078. 295078. If you have that ticket, come on up to the deck.
Second heat race for the Bucky Mowing Street Stocks. Richardson and Lawson. Green flag is up. And caution in turn number 1 and 2. Lawson to the inside, Wood there to the outside, and past one is Trent Boychi, 28, making his first, racing start. And that number 28, as Lawson, your race leader, with Tyler Wood second. Past one, Junior, third, Trent Boychi in fourth. Race for the Bucky Mowing Street Stocks. Lawson to the inside. Passwaters Jr. to the outside. Gonna look for the green flag. 3 laps to go. Boychi and Passwater. As Wood trying to look inside of Passwater. Inside of Lawson in the top spot. Lawson getting a little contact from the 28 of Frank Boychi. And caution is out. Boychi, your top four. Lawson and Passwater Jr. going to look for the green flag. Green flag is out with 2 laps to go. Passwater's using the outside lane to try to close the door on the central line. Passwater is able to move up into the top spot. Woodchie trying to look to the outside of Lawson. White flag. Jr. As off the forward of the checker flag, you're winning the 74. Bob Passwater Jr. Fourth, Kylie Wood. Pulling to the line in this Snyder Home Improvement. Downtown Auto Sanctuary Church of God, Passwaters Racing. Sponsor number 74, give a hand to your winner, Bob Passwaters Jr. Going to move on into the Snap-on Tools by Doug Poole Mini Truck, starting on the front row. He just picked up the makeup feature just a little while ago. The 2 of Barney Gerber to the outside, the 19. That's Scott Lindell, the 443 of Eddie McLean, the 95. He's tonight's top qualifier. Michael Barnes, the 57 of Rick Brick, and the 11 of Roger Boucher. Also joining the field, the 26 of Chad Squires. Six-lap heat race for the Snap-on Tools by Doug Poole Mini Trucks, Gerber and Lindell. Green flag is out. 6-lap heat race. Gerber. Here comes Barnes looking to the outside of Barney Gerber. Outside of Barney Gerber for the second spot. Here comes inside of Gerber. Lane and Barney. In 3 laps to go for Tim Roth, Barney Gerber, Squires in top 5, Rick and Roger Boucher in 6th and 7th. As they go underneath the lap traffic of Boucher and Rick, white flag, 1 lap to go. Barnes battling there for second. Eddie McLean there in the 4th spot. Good battle for second. Off of turn number 4 to the checker flag, the winner will be Scott Michelle. Michael Barnes third to Ronnie Gerber, fourth to Eddie McLean, fifth to Chad Squires, sixth Roger Ralph, seventh to Rick Brick.
Okay, let's do some more tickets. Let's do an orange ticket, 799435. This is a child's ticket, 799435. And we'll do a blue ticket, 295050. 295050.
Heat race number 1 of 3. And starting on the front row, the 41, that's Britt Van Meter. The 175 of Justin Renniker, the 19. Eugene Cobb, the 8 of Jeffrey Orr, the 15 of Kyle Finlayson. The 78P, he picked up the makeup feature. That's Josh Peebles. 23 of Carl Phillips, 75 Kevin Renniker. And joining the field, the number 38. Dragged his car on the back straightaways, going to a backup car. That is Brandon France.
Let's do more book bags. What the heck? Come on. Orange ticket, 799319. 319. Orange ticket. Blue ticket, 295077.
Going to jump out into the race lead. Justin Renniker sits there in the second spot. Eugene Combinor, battle there for third. And Tennessee Peters battle for fifth. Good battle there for the third spot. Eugene Combinor, battle for the third spot. Here comes Peters looking to the outside. Here comes Orr looking to the outside of Justin Renniker. Number 2 spot. Peters looking to the outside of Combinor for fourth. Flag comes out for the 41 of Van Meter. He went under qualifying time. Tick tock, here pits the 41. They're now in the second spot. Pop up the track a little bit. Here comes Carl Phillips and Kevin Renniker bounce off of each other down that straightaway. Good down. As Peebles looks to the outside. Peebles all over that bump with Eugene Cobb. Here comes Tennessee on the third. in turn number 4 to the checkered flag for the winner, 8 of Jeffrey Wilson, 4th, Eugene Kopp, 5th, Josh Peoples, 6th to Kevin Renneker, 7th, Carl Phillips, 8th to Brandon France. Give a hand to your winner from New Philadelphia, Ohio, the Bucky Mowing, Damsel in Defense Pro by Alicia Allison, Keys Car. Sponsor number 8, give a hand to your winner, Jeffrey Orr.
Ticket at 295069.
Second heat race for the Finlayson Towing Compacts. Jamie Leslie to the inside, Curtis Finlayson to the outside. Ryan Allman to 6R, Dan Bucky in the 69. Alan Clark in the 0, Marcus Cox in the 64, Mike Stuber in the 44. 8-lap heat race. Number 2 for the Finlayson Towing Compacts has Finlayson in lead. Jamie Leslie looking for the green flag. Bucky. Good battle up front right now. Picking up the win, the 64, Jamie Leslie. Second to Ryan Ohm. Third to Bart Busby. Fourth to Alan Clark. Fifth to Mike Stuber. Sixth to Curtis Finlayson. And seventh to Marcus Cox.
Testing. Okay, here we go. Green ticket, 986918. Orange ticket, 799319. Orange ticket, 799435. Blue ticket, 295069. Orange ticket, 799363.
Give a hand to your winner, the 64 of Jamie Leslie. Compact starting on the front row, the 115 of Howard Barfalo. To the outside, the number 21 of Sean Dudley. The 17 of Laney Stresky, the 9 of Gavin Rupp, the 7 of Savannah Holm, the 15 of Derek Robinson, the 52 of Jeremy Salinger, the 44 of Andrea Brokaw, the 79 of Eric Brokaw. Third and final heat race for the Finlayson Towing Compacts. 8-lap heat race. .115 of Howard Barfalo, only in his second start 2019, with Sean Dunley to the outside. Final heat race for the Finlayson Towing Compacts. Going to look for the green flag from Chief Starter Terry Coletti. Green flag is out and we're underway. Trying to look to the outside. Here comes Rupp making a 3-wide battle for the race lead. 3 wide for first between Barfalo to the inside. Rupp in the second group, he's going to take over the race lead. Astreski looking to the inside of Donnelly for the number 3 spot. Savannah on Jeremy Salinger making a little contact in turn number 3 as Derek Robinson up the track. Turn 4. Problems on the 52. Jeremy Salinger as he pulls into the infield. Comes Derek Robinson looking to make it 3 wide for second. Robinson in the third lane looking to the outside of Barfalo and Donnelly for the number 2 position. .21 getting a loose there in turn 1 and 2. Robinson was able to check up. As the 9 of Gavin Rupp. He's going to see the black flag here as he went under his qualifying time. That's going to make the new race leader, the 115 of Howard Barfalo. To the checker flag your winner, Howard Barfalo. Second, Delaney Struski. Third, Savannah Hom. Fourth, Derek Robinson. Fifth, Sean Dunley. Sixth, Eric Brokaw. Seventh, to Andrew Brokaw. And eighth, to Gavin Rupp.
Okay, let's go. Blue ticket 295047.
Starting on the front row will be the number 25 of Chris Grubbs in the G&H Construction from Canton, Ohio. Going to be to the outside will be the 0. The 0 of George Riddle. Supposed to go into the outside. Starting inside row number 2, the 17. He's the current point leader in the Landstar recruiting agent, Factory Street Pub and Grill, Alexis Building System 17, and Bob Snyder Jr., the 22. Route 39 Auto Salvage for New Philadelphia, Ohio. Cody Jayberg, the 88 from Akron, Ohio. Cavadal, 44 Sharp of Tony Uradalis. 66, John Sanquez Sr. from Austintown, Ohio. The 69 from Stone Creek, and the AW Tipco Oil and Gas of Bob Eichel. The 07 tonight of Todd Ripley. The 69 of Larry Ennis from Strasburg. 25-lap feature for the McIntosh Oil Company. Late models is green, and we're on their way. Good start by Grubbs and Riddle up front. As Snyder there in the second spot behind him with Cody Jayberg to the outside. He's to the inside of Jayberg. Grubbs up the track maybe a little bit. Riddle, he's going to take over the race lead. Here comes Jayberg looking to the outside of Snyder for third. Grubbs battling as Snyder. He's going to look to the inside of Grubbs for the number 2 position.
Test.
And caution coming out. Caution coming out for 20 laps to go for Riddle and Snyder Jr. Gonna look for the green flag. Green flag is out. We're underway, 20 to go. Snyder using the outside lane. Riddle battling back to the inside. Tony Uradalis looking to the sitting right behind him. He's trying to figure out which lane's gonna go so he can go. Trying to give it all he can in the outside lane. He's going to duck in behind the 0 of Riddle with Tony Uradalis sitting there in third. Tony Uradalis looking to the outside of Snyder for the number 2 spot. He's up high in turn number 4. Top 4 breaking away as Snyder trying to look to the inside of the 0 of Riddle as Uradalis. He's trying to look to the outside with Cody Jayberg sitting there in 4th. With Grubbs and Eichel rounding out towards top 6. Riddle opening up the inside there off the 2. Snyder tried, just wasn't there. As Uradalis, he's still there in the 3rd spot. Snyder, a little bit off the 4th. He's going to keep it going. He's going to try to put more pressure on the 0 Riddle. Top 4 qualifier sitting 1, 2, 3, 4. $15 laps in, 10 laps to go. Snyder again looking to the inside of Riddle. Riddle closing the door off at 2. Good race up front so far between the top four. Riddle holding a good line. Snyder there in second spot. Riddle a little loose there off at 2. Snyder's going to look to the outside. Uradell, he's going to look to the inside of Snyder for second down the back straightaway. All over the back bumper, the 0 of Riddle. As Snyder and Jaybird, they're behind him in 34. Good race so far here for the Macintosh Oil Company. Riddle, Uradell's make a little contact. Here comes Snyder. He's looking to the outside. Snyder up the track here. Uradell is still in second. Jaybird looking to the inside of Snyder for third. Here comes Tony Uradell. Uradell will make contact on the back straightaway. And caution on the speedway. Caution on the speedway. Both looking to put a win column in 2019. Green flag is out. 3 laps to go. Caution on the speedway in turn number 3 and 4. Jaybird, Snyder looking for the green flag, and the green flag is out. We're underway. Snyder and Jaybird making a little contact with one another off at turn number 2. Here comes Uradell looking to the inside. Off at turn number 4 to the double checkered flag. Your winner will be the 22 of Cody Jaybird. Second to Tony Uradell. Third to Bob Snyder Jr. Fourth to Bob Eichel. Cody Jaybird. Well, congratulations, Cody. Now you're a 2-time late model feature winner. Sounds a little different now. Instead of just having that one, you picked up that first one last year. Taken almost a year, finally pick up your second one. But on the restart, took a couple laps. We're trying to get you to the outside. You just wanted to stay behind the Riddle. So then we finally got you to the outside. Then after you got past Riddle, then it was a battle between Snyder and Riddle. Then it became between Riddle and Uradell for third. Then a caution came out. Then that put Snyder to your outside. And it was a good battle there between you and Snyder on the start. And then Uradell's. Who all would you like to thank on this 22? Because it was definitely hooked up on the outside lane.
I can't thank my dad enough for all the help he does with me. Thank Bubba Smith for one badass car. That's all.
Any sponsors?
Rick Watson Trucking, T&O Modding, Route 39 Auto.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Give a hand to your winner, the Code Man, Cody Jaybird. Time for the mini truck feature with Scott Liddell and Eddie McLean looking for the green flag. 12-lap feature for the mini truck. Good battle for the race lead between Scott Liddell and McLean up front. Good battle still for the top spot between McLean and Lindell. Still, McLean looking to the outside of Scott Lindell for the top spot. Battle for third between Barnes and Gerber also. Still, good battle for the race lead. Lindell to the inside. McLean up the track. He's opening the inside for Barnes. Barnes looking for second down the front straightaway into turn 1. Barnes getting a little loose there, up the track a little bit in turn 2. Barnes looking again to the inside of the 443 of McLean as they put Roger Boucher and Rick Brick a lap down. Still a good battle there for the second spot between Barnes and McLean as Barney Gerber, he sits in the 4th spot. Chad Squires in 5th. McLean still all over the back bumper, the 95 of Barnes. As Brick having to go up the track there in turn number 1 and 2 as the leaders were coming. We'll have Lindell, Barnes, and McLean. Your top 3 with Gerber and Squires sitting in 4th and 5th. 10 laps in, 2 laps to go. Good feature for the Snap-on tools by Doug Pohl Mini Trucks. McLean still looking to the inside of the 95 of Barnes. McLean, Barnes making a little contact in turn 3 and 4, and the caution is out. Caution on the speedway. Barney Gerber and Chad Squires. Eddie McLean, Rick Brick, and Roger Boucher rounding out your 7 mini trucks. The Snap-on Tools by Doug Pohl Mini Trucks. 2-lap shootout, 10 laps in, 2 laps to go. Barnes looking to the outside of Lindell for the race lead. Does so off of turn number 2. Lindell not giving up on the inside. Good battle for the race lead so far with Scott Lindell to the inside. Michael Barnes to the outside. White flag will have to go for Barnes. Good battle there for the 3rd spot between Barney Gerber and McLean. And McLean will take over the 3rd spot. Picking up the win was Michael Barnes. 2nd to Scott Lindell. 3rd to Eddie McLean. 4th to Barney Gerber. 5th to Chad Squires. 6th to Rick Brick. And 7th to Roger Boucher.
Orange ticket 337.
So hand your winner, Michael Barnes. Well, congratulations, Michael. You think you would have had anything if caution didn't come out?
Well, if I could keep it hooked up, I think I had it.
Well, it wasn't that bad on the outside lane, but on the restart there between you and Lindell. And then also, Lindell kept on battling back to the inside, but you were able to clear him on the white flag lap. Who would you like to thank on the 95?
I got to thank my family. They helped me through and through on this thing. And my best friend, Josh Beal, out here helping on the track tonight. If it wasn't for these guys, I wouldn't be here.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Give a hand to your winner, Michael Barnes. Starting on the front row, the number 54 from New Philadelphia, Ohio, the J-Mac Auto Detailing, Doug Moore Sales and Leasing, and Chuck Nicholson, spots number 54 of Doug McMillan. To the outside, the 55 from Leesville, Ohio, that is Brandon Bailey. To the inside, row 2, the 331 from Carrollton, Ohio. And the Esber Beverage sponsor, 331 of Michael Stone, the 00 from Yorksville, Ohio, and the LTR Industries sponsored 00 Todd Ripley. The 02 from Massillon, Ohio. And the Bullet Fabrication sponsored 02 of Rick Sibla. The number 34 in the Creative Floats, Midvale, Ohio, that's 34 of Keith Thomas. The 0. And the LTR Industries D&B Machine sponsored 0 of Lucas Ripley. The 67 from Yorksville, Ohio, and the Heron Heating and Cooling sponsor number 67 of Bob Page. The number 38, tonight's top qualifier from Dover, Ohio, on the Federated Auto Parts sponsor number 38. That is Kevin McClintock. The 09, he actually won mid-season championship. The last time we raced just a couple weeks ago. The 09 from Sherridsville, Ohio, and the Ohio Billing sponsored 09 of Philip Cox. The 4 from Midville, Ohio, of Jerry DeVore. The 87 from Carrollton, Ohio, of Zach Leisure. The 99 from Dover, Ohio, and the Bottoms Up Bar and Grill in Strasburg. 99 of Derek Gruhl. The 24 from Canton, Ohio, and the Valley View Logging sponsor 24 of Nick Grubbs. 33 of Dan Gosser. The 25 from Twinsburg, Ohio, and the Always Green Landscaping, Sean Martyr. 75 in the Route 39 Route Rent to Own sponsor number 75 of Bobby DeVore II. At your field of Van Meter Auto Repair Modifieds, as the 69 of Don Riffner III having problems as he went pit side. Was to be 18 Van Meter Auto Repair Modifieds. Just 2 weeks ago we had 20. Tonight we got 18. Still going to be a good show. Hopefully you enjoy, as they're going to bring you a 25-lap feature in just a couple laps. That couple laps will happen now. Next time by We're Going Green. Doug McMillan in the 54. Brandon Bailey in the 55. Both looking for their first feature win in 2019. McMillan actually looking for his first feature win in 2019. McMillan, Bailey, green flag is out, 25-lap feature. Good start by Brandon Bailey on the outside lane. McMillan gonna slide in second. Stone got a little loose there in turn 1 and 2. Sibla had a brake check a little early there as Keith Thomas using the outside lane. Ripley Page battle. Here comes Todd Ripley looking to the outside of Doug McMillan for the number 2 position. As Sibla and Thomas battle there for 5th. McClintock and Page make a little contact. Here comes the 09 and contact on the front straightaway between the 87 of Leisure and the 99 of Gruhl. Caution on the front straightaway. Stone, Thomas, your top 5. Two in, 23 laps to go. Green flag is out for Bailey and McMillan. McMillan getting a little loose there in turn 1 and 2, opening up the inside for the 00 Todd Ripley. He's going to bring Thomas with him. McMillan getting a little loose, almost contact on the front straightaway. They're all able to brake check. And caution out on the front straightaway. 4 laps in with 21 laps to go. Bailey and Todd Ripley going to be up front. Green flag is out and we're underway for Bailey and Ripley. Bailey was able to battle back using the inside lane and caution over in turn number 3 and 4. Caution on the speedway in turn 3 and 4. Nick Grubbs, your top 10 so far here. 20 laps to go. Bailey, Ripley looking for the green flag, and the green flag is out. Good start by Bailey using the inside lane. As the 34, Keith Thomas in the 0 of .14 laps to go for Bailey. Todd Ripley looking for the green flag. 14 laps to go. As Keith Thomas looking to the inside of Todd Ripley for the number 2 position. And Ripley gonna close the door on the front straightaway. Caution on the speedway up in turn number 4 between Bailey, Ripley, Thomas, Ripley, and McMillan, McClintock, your top 5. Todd Ripley having some issues there on the start. He's going to try to fall back. He's going to open up the inside for Keith Thomas. Todd Ripley up the track in turn number 4. He's opening up the inside lane for Lucas Ripley, and here comes Kevin McClintock looking for the 4th position. Problems on the 00. Todd Ripley is stuck in the outside lane. Payton's going to look to the inside for 5th. Battle up front so far as Keith Thomas is closing in on the 55 of Brandon Bailey. As McClintock, he's trying to look around the inside or outside of the 0, Lucas Ripley for the number 3 position. white flag, 1 lap to go for the 55 of Brandon Bailey. Checker flag, your winner, the 55 of Brandon Bailey. Second, Keith Thomas. Third, to Lucas Ripley. Fourth, Kevin McClintock. Fifth, Bob Page. Sixth, to Todd Ripley. Seventh, to Rick Sibla. Eighth, to Mike Smith. Michael Stone. Ninth, to Philip Cox. 10th, to Doug McMillan. 11th, to Nick Grubbs. 12th, to Jerry DeVore. 13th, to Dan Gosser. 14th, to Sean Martyr. 15th, to Derek Grohl.
Give your winner, Brandon Bailey, the big round of applause here.
Well, congratulations, Brandon. Picked up only your second feature win of this year, I do believe, but it was a good run tonight. It's actually the last couple laps, Keith Thomas in the 34 was actually closing in on you. Actually looked to the outside a couple laps before. Seemed like your car was slowing down a little bit there near the end, but he was trying to close in. But it was actually a good race. A lot of cautions near the beginning, but then you guys were able to hold off up front.
Yeah, we struggled with the car all day. Didn't qualify too well, but put us in the right spot. And
who would you like to thank?
the team for helping out on the day, Dover Hydraulics, South Car Wash, and everyone putting together this thing, get us here every weekend. So it's a start. I mean, we struggled a couple last weeks, but it's nice to get back over here. So we'll try again next week too.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Matt.
Give a hand to your winner, Brandon Bailey. Well, congratulations, Philip. Sorry we didn't get to do your interview there a couple weeks ago. Of course, we got rained on by Mother Nature, but it was actually a good race. You held up front, held a good line, still had some good battles there between Doug McMillan there at the end, and then when the caution came out for a problem in turn 2, you and McMillan kind of got together over in turn 3 and 4, but everything was reverted to the last lap for the accident in turn 2, but you were around the victory. How does it feel to actually win mid-season?
Feels good. I never thought I'd win one, but it feels really good.
See, I think you picked up your first one last year on season championship night, or near season championship night. So, but I think it's your third career feature win now after last year. Who all you want to thank on this 09?
I got to thank Ohio Billing, Swan Racing, my wife. I got to thank DeVore Racing. They put the spindles on it last week because it broke during hot laps. I was going to use Animal. I got to thank Animal for letting me get in his car, but they got it back together, brought me out here, and we won it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Give a hand to your winner, the Van Meters Auto Repair mid-season champion, Philip Cox. Compact, Finlayson Towing Compact. Leslie in the 64, Mike Stuber in the 44, Justin Renneker in the 175, Eugene Kopp in the 19, Jeffrey Orr in the 8, Kyle Finlayson in the 15, Britt Van Meter in the 41, Carl Phillips in the 23, Kevin Renneker in the 75, Josh Peebles in the 78, 69 of Dan Bucky, the 07 of Don Ruffner the 3rd, the 6R, Ryan Alm, the 443 of Eddie McLean in the 38 of Brandon France. 15-lap feature for the Finlayson Towing Compacts, feature number 1 of 2 for the Finlayson Towing Compacts. Clark and Leslie. Look for the green flag from Chief Starter Terry Coletti. Green flag is out and we're underway. Clark to the inside. Jamie Leslie there battling back to the outside. Mike Stuber in 3rd. Justin Renneker in 4th. Good battle for 5th between Kopp and Orr. Problems for Eddie McLean in turn number 1. He pulls the pit side. For the number 5 position, as Orr going to look to the outside of Renneker for 5th. Good battle for 5th between Renneker and Orr. Here comes Van Meter in the 41 looking to the outside. As you move up in a second, you got Clark and Stuber battling there for the number 2 position. Time by 8 laps in, 7 laps to go for Jamie Leslie in the 64. Mike Stuber now up to 2nd. Battle for 3rd between Clark and Orr. As Van Meter, he's moved himself into the top 5. As Finlayson looking to the outside, moving top to the 6th spot. As Carl Phillips going to try to follow in right behind him. Battle for 3rd between Clark and Orr, and Van Meter's also right there in the 5th spot. Orr now up into the 3rd spot. Clark, Van Meter, battle for 4th as Eugene Kopp and Kyle Finlayson still battle there for the 6th position. Carl Phillips right there to the outside also. 12 laps in, 3 laps to go. Mike Stuber in the 44s closing in on Jamie Leslie for the race lead. Mike Stuber right there. Looking to the outside of the 64, Jamie Leslie, white flag, 1 lap to go for Leslie and Stuber. Good battle up front, side by side for the race lead. Jamie Leslie to the inside, Mike Stuber to the outside. Stuber with the advantage into 3. Off of turn number 4 to his first career feature win at Midville. It's Mike Stuber, 2nd to Jamie Leslie, 3rd to Jeffrey Orr, 4th to Britt Van Meter, 5th to Alan Clark, 6th to Kyle Phillips, and 7th to Carl Phillips, 8th to Eugene Kopp, 9th to Kevin Renneker, 10th to Justin Renneker, 11th to Rufner the 3rd, 12th to Brandon France, 13th. Mike Stuber. Well, congratulations, Mike.
Thank you.
How's it feel to pick up your first career feature here at Midville?
It feels real good. I've been fighting for this for a while.
Last year you were sharing a ride with Busby, so you were always getting closer. Busby picked up a couple, you kept on itching closer and closer. This year you got your own car, been itching closer. And then tonight, Leslie had problems with his car. To hear he had only 3 cylinders. So of course you're able to close, and then right there off at 2, back straightaway, and then you cleared them on the final lap. All you needed is just 1 lap.
Yep. I hate to hear that, but I'll take it.
Who all would you like to thank on this 44?
I got to thank my wife, Rachel, my daughters, Chloe, Tabitha, Daphne. I got to thank Dan and Carol Bucky, Keith's Cars, Carl Phillips, my water doctor. That's about it.
Congratulations.
Thank you, buddy.
Give a hand to your winner, Mike Stuber. Come up right after this. The U-Race fans got 9 features tonight with our 3 makeup within our 6 normal here for July 13th. Hopefully you guys are be sure to starting on the front row is J.D. Lawson, the 22 of Kylie Wood, the 74 of Bob Passwaters Jr., the 55 of Bill Obiel, the 118 of Colt Locker, 67 of Lucas Ripley, 75 Bob Passwaters Sr., 77 Rich Schweitzer, 7 Gabe Pringle, 88 Dennis Wood, 95 Scott Richardson. Green flag is out, 20-lap feature for the Bucky Mowing Street Stock. The 28 of Frank Boyce and the 6 of Kyle Lawson. Good battle there for the 3rd spot between Passwaters Jr. and Bill Obiel, as Ripley trying to get around the outside of the 118 of Locker for the number 5 position. Locker still battling back to the inside. As Obiel, as caution on the front straightaway, 500971. Last call for the girls' bike. 4 laps in, 16 laps to go for J.D. Lawson and Wood. Green flag is out. And caution on the speedway in turn number 2. Laps in, 16 laps to go. Caution coming out for a failed start by the duo up front. Green's out, 16 laps to go for Lawson and Wood. And caution on the speedway in turn number 2. J.D. Lawson, Passwaters Jr. Gonna look for the green flag. 16 laps to go. Green flag is out and we're underway. So a good battle up so Good battle up front so far as Passwater's Junior new race leaders not clear. J.D. Lawson for the race lead. Ripley and Ovule battle there for the third spot. As Locker, Passwater Senior battle there behind him for fifth. Ovule not giving up on the inside lane as he's trying to stay right there with the 67 of Ripley. As here comes the 75 of Passwater Senior. He's going to look to the outside now. Good battle there for the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and ninth position. As Ovule still to the inside of Ripley. As Locker battling there with Passwater Senior. Rich Schweitzer and Abe Pringle battle there also with Dennis Wood behind him. Halfway that time by, 10 laps in. 10 laps to go for Passwater Jr. J.D. Lawson, Ripley, Ovule, Locker, Passwater Senior, Schweitzer, Pringle, Wood, and Kyle Lawson, your top 10. Ripley around the outside of the 55 of Ovule for the number 3 position. As Passwater Senior, he's trying to look to the outside also. Rip. 5 laps to go for Bob Passwater Jr. J.D. Lawson, Lucas Ripley, Passwater Senior. Now you're in the top 5. As here comes Pringle. Ripley to the inside for the second spot. Ripley gonna clear him off before, move Ripley to second. Passwater Senior and Pringle now in 4th and 5th. As the 74 Passwater Jr. might have had a little bit of an issue there in turn number 2. As here comes the 67 of Ripley. He's closing in. Here comes Ripley looking to the inside of Passwater. Problems for the 15 of Lawson. Oh, the 15 loses a wheel on the back straightaway. Caution on the speedway. 17 laps in, 3 laps to go for Bob Passwaters Jr. and Lucas Ripley. Your duo up front. Green flag is out and we're underway. Not a good start by the 74 and caution is out on the speedway. Gonna try it again. 17 laps in, 3 laps to go. Passwaters Jr. and Ripley side by side. Green flag is out and we're underway. Passwater Jr. up the track there in turn number 2. Here comes Wood. Wood looking to the inside of Passwater Senior in 3 and 4, and caution is out in turn 3 and 4. Green flag is out and we're back to racing. And caution on the speedway, caution. 17 laps in, 3 laps to go. Passwaters Jr., Lucas Ripley, Pringle, Rich Schweitzer. Green flag is out, 3 laps to go. problems on the 7 of Gabe Pringle as he drops to the back. As here comes Rich Schweitzer. He's now up to the number 2 position. He's looking to the outside. As they're sideways, up and down in turn 1. Rip. Green flag is out, 2 laps to go. Problems for the 118 of Locker. He goes way up the track. White flag, 1 lap to go for Ripley. To the double checker of Lucas Ripley. 2nd to Rich Schweitzer. 3rd to Bob Passwater Jr. 4th to Frank Boychi. 5th to Dennis Wood. 6th to Bob Passwater Sr. 7th to Kyle Lawson. 8th to Scott Richardson. 7th to Gabe Pringle. 10th to Bill Abio. 11th to Kylie Wood. 12th to Colt Locker. Climbing out, give a hand to your winner, Lucas Ripley. Well, congratulations, Lucas. It was actually a good race. He tried to get around the outside and the inside of J.D. Lawson early on. And then after a restart, after you actually got around the outside, he broke, I think it was a right rear tire off on the car and everything. And then a caution came out, and then it just seemed to breed more cautions after that. But then you started to catch the 75 as it seemed like he started to become a little under power as you were starting to close up on him. But then you were able to, you and him were trying to get equal on the starts, of course. With him being under power, you haven't. You guys still got to be equal there, but it was still a good race. And it's nice to finally, you can actually say you could park it in victory lane.
Yeah, the car was pretty good. I mean, it was a long one. Took a little while to get her in, but it worked.
Who all would you like to thank?
Johnny Tenarelli. I mean, it's his car. He asked me to drive it, and it was a beast tonight. But, you know, Heron Heating and Cooling, LTR Industries, who else? DMV Machine. About it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Give a hand to your winner, Lucas Ripley. Last feature for this evening. Green flag is out and we're underway. 15-lap feature for the Phillipson Towing Compacts. 4 laps in, 11 laps to go was Feaster in the 00. And then the knock Gavin Rupp to the outside. Of Kenny Feaster, second. To Gavin Rupp, third. To Curtis Ellison, fourth. To Savannah Alm, fifth. To Derek Robinson, sixth. To Jeremy Slenger, seventh. To Howard Barfalo, eighth. To Laney Stresky, ninth. To Eric Brokall, 10th. To Sean Donnelly, 11th. To Andrew Brokall, and 12th. To Marcus Cox. So again, we're going to go catch a quick interview. So as you leave, make sure you buckle up and drive home safe. We'll see you next weekend for the MSS Super Modifieds. And then our Modified Street Stocks, Compacts, and Mini Trucks. We'll see you in a week. Over here, Kenny. Well, Kenny, good job. You didn't qualify, so you started in the back. You made it all the way to the front. Put on a good show still, coming to the front. Who would you like to thank on this 00?
Oh, well, first of all, I got to thank the owner. He was unable to drive tonight because he got stuck working, my buddy John. Other than that, we got Haas's Bait and Tackle, Careless Vinyl by none the other. And then I don't think he really has any other sponsors.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Give a hand to your winner, Kenny Feaster Jr.
fourth, number 8. That's what I thought. Here.